Welcome to another episode of Can Jay Break It? As usual, I need to know if the audio is good, if the video is good. We are all ready for this disaster. We got our Baileys, we got our music in the background, good to go. All good. All right. All right. So, welcome, Frederick and Bruce and Neo, if you're still here. Welcome to the fun. So, quick recap. I already put it in the chat, but I will. Hey, optimize logic repairs here. No pressure. I gotta put my A game on. Got this board out of Israel. It was sold as is on eBay. Unknown issues, no power, I think it listed. And the pictures were too crappy for me to see if there was anything obvious like liquid damage. We got it here, we took a look at it, spotted some liquid damage, $20. So couldn't really waste that. We spotted some liquid damage, poked around, gave it a good scrub. We got some life out of it. We tested it with the thing that I have since misplaced. Did I put you back in there? No? Oh, here it is. The chipmunk shows us 3 LEDs, power 5 volts, and if there is CPU activity. No, not Belgian techno. This is, I believe, in Italy. Adam Beyer, live set with some other dude. I forgot his name. Awesome stuff. So we got the power. We got the 5-volt. Fan was spinning, but we had no brain activity. So we poked around a little bit, and I ended the stream because I had to put this in the ultrasonic. And I said we would continue this tonight or tomorrow. So since then, it had its ultrasonic bath. Hey Dave, how you doing, dude? After it came out of the bath, it was completely dead. It wasn't even drawing. It wasn't drawing any power, nothing. It was dead. I scrubbed the SMC area a little bit more because it was looking a little rough, and it came back to life. What happened then? And I was going to put the picture on here so I could show you, but I forgot. So I'll show you on the iPad instead. Is that it powered on. The CPU got up to 100 degrees Celsius in a matter of 4 seconds, and then it shut down. So I put the heatsink on. That kept the CPU under control, but then the PCH, which is kind of like the North Bridge, got really hot. Doing a little bit of research, checking out the board view, the schematic. The problem may be with the SMC. So I took that, what do you call that stuff around the corners? I took the edge bonding off, and I fluxed it and reflowed it. Beautiful reflow. It was one for the books. You should have seen it. Just going to have to take my word for it. The reflow went perfect. But now it is completely dead. Deader than dead. So there was something under that SMC, most likely, holding some pins together just with corrosion instead of solder. And by reflowing it, I destroyed that contact, probably. I don't want to reflow an SMC. I really, really, really do not. But we might not escape it. First, we're going to pull up the schematics, take a few measurements, see what we got, and we'll take it from there. I have allocated 2 hours for this stream, and I might just stall until we get to the 2-hour mark and go, too bad. We ran out of time. I do not have time anymore to reball this SMC. Bummer. We'll see. So let me switch over to bench cam. Turn on some light. There we go. Alex, how are you doing? And yes, I don't know who just said that, but I do love this iPad. I need to see if the iPad 2 or the iPad mini that my wife stole is faster than this one. If so, I can probably bribe her to do a little switch, but I don't know yet. By the way, cheers, everybody. So, let me pull up some schematics here, and then we'll take some measurements. Pretend that we know what we're talking about, and take it from there. Now I'm gonna have to move. StreamYard to another screen, which is gonna make it a little tricky to see the comments, but we'll manage. We'll manage. So what I'm gonna do is first find out if I have the latest version of Flex Board View. Yeah, close enough, I think. Let me download a new version real quick. For those that don't know, Flex Board View is a piece of software written by Paul Daniels, which is amazing. Amazing. It's paid software. There's a free version as well. But I definitely felt like supporting Paul and all the hard work he does, so I purchased it in 2017. All right, let's have a look. This is a MacBook Pro 2012, non-Retina. All right, now let's see if I can share this window. Oh yeah. I don't know if that's I don't want to put it full screen because, this is not actually stuff that I should be showing on stream, or that any of us should be showing on stream, because these board views and schematics, although I'm not showing the schematic, the board view is also not entirely unproprietary, so I don't want to push my luck too far. This is as big as I'm gonna put it on screen, but I'll zoom in when there's a need for it. So let's have a look. Right here we got the SMC that I reflowed, and we're gonna take some measurements from all the components around it, see what's what. How do I don't know how to. How do I get the microscope view? Like that? And then, nope, that didn't work. Hold on, trying to figure this out. There we go. That should do it. So, side by side. And I hope this is big enough. I'm looking at a window that's about the size of an iPhone right now on an old 17-inch screen 5 feet away from me. So this should all be reasonably visible. If it's not, let me know. Oh, Bailey's is good. Let's get the multimeter out. do a quick test. There we go. All right. This should be reading in the 0. All right, we're good. Now, one of the beautiful things about this software is you see all these green pins. That is all shared data from other people that are taking a multimeter. They go over the entire board. They enter the values that they get on their end, and they upload it to Paul Daniels' server. I can then search for this board on the server, download the data that other people may or may not have uploaded, and I get all these green dots. That tells me that on this pin, I should get a diode mode reading of 0.35. Now, this is not the best multimeter, but I get 0.34. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy, but good enough to work with. So we're just going to go over all these values and cross-reference. Saves me a ton of work. Yep. So far, so good. This is definitely going to be a boring stream. But we have to do the work to figure out what the hell's going on. 35, 35, 35. Is that correct? It is. $35, 72, 35, 74. Yep, we're doing all right here. $35. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those fancy multimeters that can show the value on screen. Even if I did, I don't think the software exists for Mac. That's all PC stuff. But if I start doing this more often, I might go out looking for a solution. 34, 34. Let's see, that should be open line. It is. Why not? All right. I wanted to check that first. See if there were any discrepancies. Unfortunately, there are not. So we're going to have to go do this the old-fashioned way and start hunting with the multimeter. So let me hook this up, apply some juice. And start going rail by rail until we see something wrong. Now I know it's the SMC. but I'm in denial. Where are you? DC infuse right there. I really will do it just about anything to avoid having to reball an SMC. All right, so we got the 16 volts coming in. As I try to focus my microscope. There you go. Where are you? All right, there are some small bugs to this software. I've grabbed the latest of the latest of the latest. It's not always a great idea, but I help out. If I run into any bugs, I shoot Paul an email, say, "Hi, stupid, you broke it, fix it." Not really. If I talk to him that way, he will disable my license and do all kinds of mean things to me. But any feedback helps. This dude is doing it all by himself, so try to help out where I can. All right, we got 3.1 volts here. I believe that should be a little bit higher, no? The downside of all those green information points is you kind of lose track of what's highlighted on the board. I knew that was you. 3.3. All right. So far, we're getting all the values that we should be getting. U6901. It's right there. Three volts. 3 volts. Nothing. Is that supposed to be nothing? That is supposed to be nothing. Alter Fiddler, welcome. Dana, welcome. Sorry, I'm a little behind on the chat. This is not entertaining at all. Be forewarned. I'm just going over the board, probing power rails until we find something that doesn't make sense. Let's see. All right. So, the first rail you start off with, always, is PP Bus G3 Hot. I'm going to turn off these green probe points here because I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. I'm trying to keep the microscope and board in sync for you guys, but it's not working too well. All right, so the first power rail is present. Got a cluster of large components over here where we can measure the next rail. Let's see, we got you. Right there. 12 volts, so that's present. For everything I'm doing right now, you need absolutely zero. I repeat, zero intelligence or brain power. You just follow the schematic. And put your probe points wherever it tells you to put them. Now this is weird. I got this line, but I got no light on the charger, which is odd. Because typically, if this line is present, there should be a light on the charger. I am ignoring any chat talking about reballs. Because I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're talking about. Not a clue. I no speak your language. Let's see, 3.5 volts. That's good. There's the real-time clock circuit. Now we're gonna go check the 5-volt rails. And I believe we can do that right here. No 5 volts present, which makes sense because the fan is not spinning. I'm not saying that fan spin is the ultimate tool to go by, but all right, so we ran into the first line that should be there, but is not. Now we got to figure out what creates this line. So I'm going to hop over to the schematic. Which you cannot see, I'm sorry. All right, where are we? QNS, got a flex cable there, booster circuits. U7200 is usually where stuff goes bad. That's why I used to have a bin full of these chips right here. These always like to go boom for one reason or another. But is the 5-volt line created there, or does it just go there? Let's have a look. Pin 17 is you. Where do you go and where do you come from? In fact, I've replaced so many U7200s that I typically don't even troubleshoot them. I just replace them. But I don't want to be lazy here. So this comes U7200. BP bus comes in. BP5V comes out. All right. So this chip should be generating 5 volts, and it is not. Nothing here. Nothing there. I think this is the pin I'm after. We got nothing. But you always got to wonder, is this chip not producing what it needs to produce because it doesn't want to? Or because it's being told not to? Or not being told to do it? So, this does have some enable lines. Where are they? Five volt, 3 volts. We go there. You already measured you, that's dead. It's been a while since I worked on one of these boards and needed a schematic for it. Usually it's clear cut, liquid damage, you clean it up, you touch it up, you replace some components, and you're good to go. So I'm fumbling around a little bit here. Forgive me. Enable in is pin 13. Registry enable comes from there, but that goes there. Oh, come on. That comes from the other side of the board by the looks of it. Or not. Where do you come from? Over here. All right. Let's see. Flip this around. Take a look. Over here. You did look a little crummy earlier. So if I'm reading this right, the enable signal for U7200 comes from this chip right here, which is what you're currently looking at under the microscope, I believe. Where's the one next to it? That one. Is it? No, it's that one. Yeah, I think it's that one. And when we look up that chip, what we get is S5 rail enables and power good. So we're on the right track. Now, is this chip not sending an enable signal because it doesn't want to? Or does this chip as well have an enable signal that it's not getting? Why it's not doing what it should be doing? So, and of course it does. It has an enable signal on pin 2. Let's see what that pin is called. SMC enable. 3 guesses where that chip goes. To the SMC. Son of a bitch. So that's the pin right there. That little bugger. That talks to that chip. And one of the things it tells this chip is to send an enable signal back to this chip, which should then give me 5 volts. That whole chain breaks down because the SMC is apparently not doing what it should be doing. Now, there's only one ball in front of the ball that we need. So I don't know. We could dig it out, maybe. It's looking pretty messed up, isn't it? Let me see if I can get that in focus for you guys. Now, what you're looking at is a whole bunch of flux and other goop from when I was reflowing it earlier. But if I'm reading this right, where are you? Behind that ball over there is another ball, and that ball is either not connected or not doing its job very well. If you don't want to replace it, reflow it. I already did. That's what broke it even more. That's what got me in this predicament. Should we just reflow it again? See if we get lucky. Hey, Mike. Hey, babe. Starbuck. How y'all doing? I'm going to reflow it again because I really, really, really do not want to reball it. So, let's see. We can get rid of the schematic there. Let's get this in focus-ish, kind of. That's pretty reasonable right there. All right, let's reflow it. We got nothing to lose but your precious time. I will be needing my fume extractor, so because that's a lot of flux to be cooking without any fume extraction. So to those that are wearing headphones, the hot air gun might be a little noisy. I don't want to mute the microphone and have you miss, I don't know, me burning myself and screaming in pain or stuff like that. So I do call Mike babe. I call Mr. Licky babe because it's my actual babe, and I call Mike babe because, well, he kind of likes it. Anyway, I'm about to use the hot air gun now. Might be a little noisy. It's going to take a few minutes at least. So enjoy. Wait, I need some dailies first. And if this doesn't work, I don't know, I might have a medical condition that needs attention or something that will prevent me from reballing this SMC. Here we go. Now you can rush this, but it is not recommended. So I take my time, and once you see bubbles coming up from underneath the chip, you're heading in the right direction. All right, see if we're moving. Not yet. We got a little bit of movement, but not much. There we go. All right. There we go. Now we can understand each other again. Now that was a gorgeous reflow. It really was. It is everything you want and expect from a reflow. Did it do anything? I don't know. We are soon to find out. Yeah, Mike is definitely rocking it with those power books. The thing is, I don't stream the repairs that are, basic. Like, oh, replace a capacitor. Ooh, graphics card that's not getting enough power. Replace this. Redo some solder. Um, those are not really the repairs that I enjoy. So I assume that no one else will enjoy watching those either. I am the guy that will spend money to buy the most messed up liquid damage board he can find on eBay, just so he can do a stream on it. That's what I like to do. Because, as with everything else, as soon as it stops being a challenge, I get sick of it and I stop doing it. So, if I have a bunch of repairs that were easy, I will purposefully pick an extremely messed up board just to exercise my brain a little. And I got plenty left to learn, don't get me wrong. Plenty left to learn, but I like to keep it fun, All right. You don't do shit. You pull apart the power book for fun. You are definitely on the same level as this. Because no one does that for fun. All right. Ow, 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 ow. Let's give this a minute while I catch up on the chat. All right, let's talk balls. I don't know if everybody else would be into ball talk though. So I don't know. How hot do you have your hot air gun at? I do pretty much everything at 420 degrees Celsius. The only thing I change is the airflow. So the reflow that I just did, I did with an airflow of 50% from a pretty big height of what is it, 5-6 centimeters. I don't know what that is in inches. And stuff that I want to get off the board quickly, I put the airflow on 100%. So I don't really mess with the temperature much, more the airflow. Same with the soldering iron. I just keep that thing pretty much always at the same temperature, and just control how fast or how slow I do stuff. All right, this is it, people. It's gonna work. All will be right in the world, and Jay does not have to reball an SMC that will keep him here for the next 6 hours because he sucks at it. Fuck you. I don't like this anymore. Piece of shit. I hate you. All right, just because it's not going to matter at all. But we're going to try a different DC inboard. I really don't want to do this. All right, so SMC has to come off. Yes, yes. Ha! Cheers, Bailey's for you. We are gonna stop the stream here. I'm gonna send this board to Optimize Logic Repair, and he's gonna finish it up. What a beautiful deal! Can I get off that easy? I don't know. Let's pull an SMC. I noticed that before. Who just said that? Hey, Thomas. Who just said that? Someone just said that it looks like everything is on crooked. I noticed that too when I was inspecting this board earlier. Small things like you can't even see what the hell I'm doing. Small things like this being a little crooked, that being everything on this board is crooked. And this is quite well. This of course is diagonal on purpose, but other stuff is slightly off that you normally never see. Now here I was just reflowing a bunch of stuff, so I would expect this all to be a little crooked because there's still a lot of this edge bonding there, pushing stuff to where it shouldn't go. But yeah, I definitely noticed that about this board. See, like this, it just doesn't leave the factory like that. So I don't know what happened. But let's do it. Oh, Neo, you said that. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff not straight on this board. It bugs me. Bro, his son named it. What did my son name? Yeah, it's too far up. All right, let me just yank this SMC off, see what's underneath. I should have probably increased the airflow a little for this, but we have time. I'd better see some destruction under here to make this worth it. So according to the schematic, this is the ball that we were after. Seems like a nice ball. Got a little bit of edge bonding still stuck under here. That's not a problem. Here we have an escape ball. Man, these balls are looking fine. Nothing wrong with these balls. We'll be checking out the underside of the SMC as well. Just for shits and giggles. Everything that's crooked on top of there, we'll fix that after we put a new SMC on. Not too worried about that now, because we can't break it any further anyway. All right, so, ooh, that left a lot of, damn. Oh gosh. Oh, that's nasty. Hold on. Hold on. Come on, get off there. We'll get rid of all that when we start wicking. All right, so I know this looks bad, but it actually doesn't look all that bad under there. There's no corrosion, no pads missing. I was thinking the same thing, Thomas. Like, why else would everything be crooked? Yep. Well, a little bit of corrosion got under here. Still see some residue there. Well, you can't see it because my microscope sucks. But let's see. Third ball from the right. That would be fan tachyometer. What do you call it? Controls the fan. So we know that works. All right, so that was it. We will be sending this to Tim for optimized logic repair. He's going to make it good as new, and that's that. Cool? Cool. I like that plan. I promised myself before the stream that I would calibrate this microscope so that it's always in focus, but I forgot. Let's check the underside of the SMC real quick. That is looking a little less happy. Oh, this is just the edge bonding that went underneath. Wait, is it? Hold on. Is it? I've never seen edge bonding do that. Hold the phone. Alright, this is just because I hate doing it doesn't mean I've never done it. I've removed plenty of SMCs, and this is a new one for me. Does that mean that the edge bonding just crept under there? What the hell is that? It almost looks like tape. It's flux mixed in with something else. This is weird. I've never seen that before, I gotta say. I know there's probably some flux in there from the previous reflow attempt, but I don't think this is the way it should be. Definitely not in the center of a chip. And this also doesn't handle like my flux. This is some kind of weird rubbery coating that my flux doesn't leave on anything. So I don't know. This may have been reflowed before. This does not look like what I usually encounter. So I'm thinking this is flux, but I'm pretty damn confident it's not my flux. My MTech does not do that. Anyway, now we gotta clean it. Are we? Jesus Christ, microscope, come on. Are we gonna reball this, or are we just gonna grab another SMC? Or are we just gonna send it to Tim? 223. I saw a video about the 223. Supposedly, it's, I don't know. It has a few strengths that shit. I forgot the number. What do I have? The 559 doesn't have, but I've never used it myself. Good luck. I'm gonna sleep. Ciao, babe. Thanks for hanging out. All right. So, reball. Of course, they're gonna say reball. They just want to see me suffer. They're not my real friends. They hate me. All right, so let's clean this up real quick. We just want to see you challenge yourself. Well played. Well played. But some challenges I do not like. All right. We're going to need a different iron that is good at wicking. Hey, Sam. What if that SMC is stuffed? What of that SMC? Don't you want to grab another from a donor? Oh, what if? Yes, but I also have successfully avoided reballing anything in over a year, so I should at least give it a try and remind myself why I'm avoiding it. With some of that flux being avoiding, how do you say that? Some of the flux was preventing the solder from making contact. And I know that's weird, but the way it was wrapped around some of those balls, just weird, I tell you. It's weird. Ha! You just want to see how it's done. And I'm going to put this on screen so that anyone watching this later will know. Oh, you're absolutely right, Sam, but that's not the message I wanted to put up. There we go. I just want to see how it's done. Then do not, repeat, do not do what I do. Watch Paul Daniels. Watch Louis Rossman. Watch Bruce from Brankus Creations. I'm sure Tim from Optimized Logic has done it or will do it in the future. Uh, watch anyone but me, really, when it comes to reballing an SMC. So, there's a few pads here. See those dull? Of course you don't. There's some dull gray pads in here. We want those to be shiny. Alright, applying a little bit of fresh solder. Suck up whatever was left behind. Now we'll wick it again. And then Bruce is going to tell me how to reball an SMC. Because Bruce knows all. And Bruce has all the answers. There you go. Get into that copper. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. Give it a quick scrub. With alcohol this time. There we go. Look how pretty. Looking at how pretty this is, when it's all fresh and clean, you would never expect I'll be cursing my head off at this little chip 10 minutes from now. Alright. At least 100. 100 what? The Mac Whisperer. I'm sorry if I'm missing some important chat. You're absolutely right. I'm missing a lot of chat. Just repeat yourself. I'll catch it eventually. All right, that's looking pretty happy. Pretty pretty happy SMC right there. That continues to keep getting out of focus. I'm sorry. I've reballed at least 100 SMCs. So why do people insist I do this myself when I should clearly be sending this to you? All right. Actually, I should have just left that in there. Now the problem I have with this jig, I might be able to show you a side view, is that it does not sit flush. Oh, you can't see any of that. Well, kind of. It does not sit flush with the edge of the metal, which causes whatever stencil I apply to not sit flush on the chip, and the whole result goes to shit. Now, I've tried to raise this up with little pieces of metal underneath, and I, I can just never get it quite right. This is not the right jig for this, but I've looked everywhere, and apparently at the time where I was looking for these kind of jigs, they were incredibly popular. So they either cost a fortune or they were unobtainium. AliExpress, and I checked. I checked all of them. So the idea is you got your chip there, and let me pull up side view for a second. And you have the top that holds a stencil, like so. You also have smaller stencils that you can apply to different jigs, and that goes right on top of here, so that you can apply fresh solder and make pretty little new balls. But even though it doesn't look like it, there's a good millimeter of empty space under here. So as soon as I apply solder paste, I start heating it up, that just flows everywhere and no balls. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I could do some grinding. Honestly, never thought about it. I should probably just grab a Dremel and get that done. Now, where do I keep my stencils? Here. So what I came up with back in the day were these little shims that I cut out from heat shields and other stuff, and it works. It gets the chip to the desired height. The problem is they're not perfectly flat, and when I start heating this up, that curve gets worse, and it kind of lifts the chip up in an angle you don't want it. So that didn't work out. Did I try anything else? All right. Then there's this. This is in a bag, but these smaller stencils, you just put them in place. You use some Captain tape on the sides, and these smaller stencils work really well. The problem is, in this jig that I have, there's no no surface for the tape to hold on to, so that didn't work. So yeah, I've been trying this for a while, and I've had reasonable success with what I have, but I definitely suck at it. And I don't suck at it because I don't know how to do it. I suck at it because I do not have the right tools for the job. And as with everything, 80% of doing a good job is simply having the right tools. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, that's some good Baileys. Wow. Best batch yet. So I'm going to try and use that shim again. And I know there's a lot of shuddering going on right now. I know. But you gotta work with what you got. Damn it. Alright, so now with those shims under it, perfection. The problem is, as soon as I start heating this up, it all starts shifting and stuff. But we're gonna try it, just because we can. Give it a little bit of a rub down. Clean the stencil off, which I probably should have ultrasonic before. I don't think I cleaned this after the last time I used it. That's me using a toothbrush on a stencil, by the way. Alright, that goes on top of that. And now I have to adjust the stencil. Which is done by magnets. So you get this in place like that, and it is perfect. This is so perfect you want to marry it, introduce it to your parents. But as soon as you put the magnet on, it all goes to shit. So yeah, this jig, it works really well from what I've read and seen and heard for larger chips, but definitely not for this. Stop shifting. So what I've tried is tape down this stencil with Captain Tape before applying the magnet. And I've had reasonable success with that. But not enough to say, hey, I really love reballing stuff. Love it. Love it. Because I don't. And there it goes, shifting all over the place. And now you know why Jay does not reball stuff. And this stencil is warped to shit. Alright, so I taped it down. I'm quickly going to apply the magnet. And it shifted again. So yeah. At this point, I usually go outside to have a smoke and forget that SMC existed. I can kind of force it a little, but I don't think that's going to hold as soon as I start heating this up. But you know what? We say fuck it, and we're just going to try. So what I have here is some Chip Quick, which the last time I used it was solder paste. Now, that's a year ago. It might be cement now. So we're going to find out. First, I flux it a little. Now, I know this is not a preferred method, but I found it in my setup to give me a little bit greater rate of success. Now let's see what comes out of the syringe. Nothing. Jay is not reballing anything tonight. So let's have a look. Let's take this syringe thingy off, if it lets me. Grab another one right here. Try that again. Oh, look at that. Woo, that's a lot. That's a lot. And that looks like a fresh turd on camera. I'm sorry, the contrast is a little messed up. But that is solder paste. Trust me, that's solder paste. And we're just going to spread that all around. Get into those holes. As my stencil moves all over the place. I fully expect this to be a complete disaster, but... Alright, then we scrape off the excess. Ish. Kinda. Good enough. And then we turn to the chat, because we do not remember the right temperature or airflow to do this. I believe it was 200 degrees for about a minute. Let's give it a shot. I thought I had a preset for this, but I don't. All right. Wish me luck. We got an airflow of 20 at 220 degrees Celsius. Which might be a bit too, what's the word? Not good enough. But I don't know if you could tell this on camera. I'm blowing holes into all of this. It's falling down to the bottom, which means the stencil still is not flush. And there's a lot of space underneath. So this is a complete fucking disaster, as expected. But I'll finish it off just so I can show you what happens once I remove the stencil. Of course, in this case, it could be that the solder paste I have is completely fluffed. Looks like it's pretty well dried up, this paste. Oh no, I'm not reballing anything. I'm showing exactly the equipment that you do not use, the techniques and methodologies that you do not use. So this solder paste is not turning into solder balls. This is not happening. So I'm just going to crank it. Oh, what the shit? Okay. The solder paste is with triple the amount of heat as recommended on the package, now turning into solder balls. But what you may not be able to see on camera is that they're falling down. So it was being held together by the stencil. As soon as it turns into liquid solder, it falls down. And that's because the stencil is not flush. Now, I've been lucky before, where magically, after it fell down, it turned into a ball on the pad, but I do not expect such luck here. Well, melt, you bastard. There's a few balls that are holding out. Alright, doesn't matter. Let's give this a minute to cool off, and then I'll show you the next problem that I typically run into with, hey Micro, with when I'm doing this. You'll see. There we go. All right. So, when you pull the stencil off, when it's still hot, those balls fly all over the place. When you pull it off when it's too cold, the balls get stuck to the stencil, and then you rip half of them off. So, let's see where we end up this time. Stuck. So, now you have to start playing with heat. Not too much to liquefy all that solder again, but also enough to loosen up the flux and all the stuff that's holding it together. All while touching a metal jig that is incredibly hot. It's fun, right? All right, see how far we get. Okay. Sorry, this thing takes a minute to cool down. All right. Now, usually after you take the stencil off, you apply a little bit of flux. You run some air past it to flow everything into place. But I'm not doing that because it wouldn't matter anyway. this is what I'm currently looking at. And forgive all the stupid falling apart Q-tips. Doesn't matter. Let me zoom in a little. So you got one side with large balls where the stencil met the chip pretty good. One side with little tiny balls or no balls at all. Focus, you bastard. And some pads that just, nothing happened. So yeah, after doing that about 100 times, you kind of get sick of it and you never want to reball again. Now here's the stencil. Other side of stencil. You see there's quite a bit of solder stuck to the stencil in places where it shouldn't be. And so yeah, I simply lack the right tools to pull off a successful reballing. It really pisses me off because I don't mind doing the reballing. It's a fairly quick and easy procedure, but this just turns it into a major headache. And then we'll move on to the third and final issue with this jig is let's remove the chip. Remove those little heat shield thingies. Come on. Stand by. All right. So here's the SMC. That after being in this jig, turn it that way, has started to warp a little. See that? So all in all, this setup is just horrible for reballing SMCs. This jig is no good. If anyone watching has a worthy replacement that makes this job easier to do and to do it correctly, I certainly welcome it. But yeah, these tools are not it. And the mess. Jeez, look at the mess. Try taping down some Captain Sticky side up, stick the chip on it, align the stencil, and tape it in place for Captain. Hold the phone. Try taping down some Captain Sticky side up. Sticky side up where? There's no place for me to stick anything in this jig. No, unfortunately, it will not unwarp it when I resolder it. There's just because I'm only applying pressure from two sides. Really, these two clamps are just to kind of keep it from shifting. But I'm only applying pressure from two sides, and that's not good. He's saying do not use the jig. No jig. I'm all for that. Get the fuck out of here. All right, no jig. So put some Captain here. Here. Sticky side up. All right. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to give it a shot. Now, of course, this might still fail because the SMC is already pretty warped, but I just want to see if it works. Do a little bit of cleaning. Yeah. That's pretty clean. Then we need to, off screen, I need to clean this chip real quick. There's flux all over it. Actually, I have to put it back in the jig to wick off all the solder. So stand by. We're going to give this a shot. Well, the problem with the donor SMC is as soon as you pull it off one board, you mess up the balls and you have to reapply them. So there is not really using a donor SMC without reballing it. Auteur, yes. If you clamp it more lightly, you avoid the warping. But unfortunately then, you pull out the stancil and the chip as soon as you try to remove it. Because they're kind of stuck together. And even if they're not stuck together, the heat and the flux and everything will keep them stuck together. It's a lose-lose situation. Don't clamp it tight enough, it fails. Clamp it too tight, it warps. All right. Clean this up a little. I'd be happy never to use this jig again. So if this works, I will have to go and visit Micromage and give him a big old hug. Not an awkward kind of hug. A little bit awkward kind of hug, but a big old hug. Because it will make me very happy when I can take off an SMC and know for a fact that I'll be able to reball it successfully. That would be fantastic. All right. But hey, I told the Maciac guys before I started streaming in the chat that this is likely where the stream would end up. Me fucking around trying to reball a SMC and failing miserably at it. But we could have been done by now. Truth be told, I don't think reballing this SMC is going to fix it. We're going to need another one, more than likely. But you never know. All right, Captain Tape. Sticky side up. Stick that right on there. Look at that. Now I'm going to take a stencil. I have a jig too that I never use. Well, we're not all as cool as you. All right. Where the fuck are you? There. So we do that. As you look at my dried up fingers from using too much alcohol, and then I have to apply tape. So just tape it to the desk, right? No? Wrong. All right. Halt. 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 GT says I'm wrong. Because he's reballed so many SMCs that he knows exactly how to do it. We're going to listen to GT on this. Give me some wisdom, GT. Wrong captain tape, sticky side up. Yeah, sticky side up. I mean, I twisted it in a little loop so that it sticks to the desk and the chip. It's fucking sticky side up, right? No loop, Jesus. All these fucking disclaimers. To be fair, he didn't say no loop, all right? I was allowed some artistic freedom here, the way I understood it. All right. Captain tape. Right there. Right? Sticky side up with a giant fucking fingerprint. And then we get the chip. Are we still good so far? I take the chip and I put it on there. Alright. Putting the chip on the tape. It puts the SMC on the sticky tape. Alright? We still good? I'm sorry for the focus, guys. This is really horrible. Tape the tape down on the mat, or it gets the hose again. Tape the tape down on the mat. Okay, yeah. That does kind of make sense. Taping the tape down on the mats. I only cleaned the little area, so it might not stick. The tape has been, oh shit. Hold on. The tape has been taped down on the mat. I will not do anything until Micro speaks. Or GT. GT is pretty intimidating, so I might just wait on him too. Now stencil. I did stencil. Look, stencil. Oh shit. Ah, come on. Jesus Christ. Good thing I'm not a surgeon. You'd be dead. Alright, fuck it. Tape it on both sides. That I can do. Let's see, where are we? Where's the corner? There's the corner. I'm way too close to the holes, aren't I? God damn it. I do not have the coordination for this after a few Baileys. I'll tell you that much. We'll get there. Stand by. Where are we? There we go. Put that right there. Do not let go. Do not let go. All right. That is semi-firmly attached to the stencil and the desk. Let's do the other side. And this is supposed to hold everything in place until I'm done. I don't believe it for a second. I don't. I simply don't. But GT is an expert. Micro is an expert. Everybody else that chimed in is probably an expert as well. So, are we happy? More tape on top and bottom. I'm really starting to question where GT is getting this knowledge, because it makes sense. He hasn't reballed a chip in his fucking life. Where are you getting all this, GT? Where do you get your wisdom? More tape. Some tape there. Some tape there. I know, Dana, you're too modest for this. All right, I've used half a roll of Captain Tape at the cost of 30 cents a centimeter. So this better be good. We better be happy with this. I'm starting to feel the pressure, man. I'm sweating. All right. Oh, but Dana, I've been waiting for you. I do not just pull out the pliers for anyone, Dana. You know this. All right, I've watched Doss Dude do a reball. That must make me an expert. Yes, Mike is an expert. And neither have I. That's why I'm not weighing in. Sadmac, just weigh in. Just do it. This becomes a lot more fun if everybody's wrong. Just do sides, it's fine usually. Ah, see? See? GT was full of it. I did not have to waste tape on the top and bottom. The sides would have been fine. All right, now, micromage repair. Dude, do I apply some flux first, or do I go straight for the solder paste, which may or may not be completely or almost dried out? I've got a good feeling about this one, Jay. Yeah, we will see. I'm going to need to vape some courage here. Just paste. Straight for the paste. Stop. Too much. All right. Hold on. All right. Now we're going to spread this around. Grab your eye hammer. Not everybody has an eye hammer, Mike. That is a licensed and trademarked tool that belongs to Mike's Mac Shack. I have placed my order some time ago, but it has yet to be shipped out. It's a damn shame, really. All right. Are we happy with the amount of solder paste? Are we satisfied? Do we feel that this will produce some balls? Well, that didn't do shit. Let's grab a Q-tip. That's not really helping either. Press down a bit more. What, with the spudger thingy or the cleaning up after the fact thingy? Like this? Push that paste in some more. It does look a little yeah. I'm not touching anything until someone speaks. That hole looks a little empty right there. Looks worse on camera. Fuck it. Didn't do it. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. All right, now what I've done in the past, but I'm scared to do so now because for some reason, this is like I'm getting laid for the first time. Like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. Usually I take a paper towel and I just go like get all the excess off of there. There. And I call that good. Now on camera, it looks like there are massive holes over there and there and there. But I can assure you there are not. Just looks that way. God, it's hot. Now, before I commit, any preferred temperature and airflow setting? 420 seem to do pretty good with this paste. Should I stick with that? Wipe left to right as well. Are you fucking with me? I have a feeling Bruce is just messing with me at this point. That's what Bruce does. All right, done. I have wiped. I did left to right. Sorry if right to left would have been better. I did left to right. If you have extra, won't it just fall in the holes? It could, but then you can also... the whole point of a stencil is to exactly control the amount of solder per hole. So if you have some piling up in places where... in one place but not in another place, you can end up with more solder where you don't want it. All right, maybe it's the lag, maybe it's my impatience, but I see no messages about temperature or airflow, so I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. You may very well be wrong, Satmac. It could be, and it also depends where you are. Obviously, wiping in Australia is different than wiping in America. Everything is the other way around over there. You don't know. Here we go. 420 at 20% airflow. And I can see the tape is letting go off my desk. That's not good. Balls are forming. Holy shit, that looks good. Fuck. Those are some nice balls. All right. I just put all those comments up so they all look ridiculous forever. Now, when I remove this stencil, no doubt it's going to be stuck. Flux and reflow. Now, while it's still attached like this. By the way, if you have not checked out Micromage Repair YouTube channel, do so. You can actually learn a few things. Make sure all the balls dropped. Yeah. Whew. Should have done this sober. All right. Let's lube up those balls. Never enough lube, or so I am told. Oh, I like that. Bam. Reflowing. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, where are you going? Just getting the flux in all the holes. Now you gotta use very low airflow on this. Um, oh shit! The tape let go. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm gonna stop now because the balls with too much airflow, the balls can kind of jump out of the holes. I think the stencil let go of the chip. Uh oh. Yes, jumping balls. It happens, and it's not temperature related as it usually is with balls, but it is airflow related. Man, this stream just took a dive. That's a shitload of tape. Hold on, hold on. Oh, come on, dude. All right, I'm just going to use my hands for this for a minute. Hold on. All right, here we go. One stencil and SMC merged together. The tape came off on its own, so I had to remove that. God, I hate this keyboard. It's fine. Oh, it's fine. Gotcha. So, do I just yank these off, or I think I already see some separation between the chip and the stencil in this corner. So, how do I separate these without completely messing up all the hard work we just did? I subscribed to Micromage just now. You are late, Otter Fiddler. You are very, very late, but I'm sure it's appreciated either way. 120C, warm up the flux. Getting nervous again. I should really start using all the preset buttons this thing has. 120C, warm up the flux. And then we're gonna warm it up from this side, I imagine, and then just lift the stencil up. I imagine. I imagine. All this trouble for an SMC that's likely dead. But I've gotten further in the reballing process that I have in the last year, so I'm incredibly grateful and I appreciate it. Heat the flux without melting the solder. This is the moment I usually fuck up. Okay, so if I fuck up, I know that I'm following in the footsteps of the great Brankus creation. Can warm up from other side, whichever. All right, here we go. I have a feeling the surface tension is going to hold this stuff together no matter what. The flux is fluid. It's not letting go. So let me flip this over. Come on, you bastard. And try this way. More air. All right, more air. I'm at 50% now. If 51% is preferred, let me know. This thing ain't letting go. Can I just put it back on the board like this with stencil and all? It would save me some trouble. With my regular solder, I would be comfortable applying more heat, but this chip quick stuff has a very low melting point, so I don't want to risk it, GT. Yeah, this fucker is on there. Alright. Plan B. I knifed it. Look at that. Look at that. I'm afraid to touch it now. That's so pretty. Let's see. Holy shit, Micro. Thanks. I will now spend the rest of the week reballing SMCs just because I can. As with every new method you learn, you just gotta do it a bunch of times to get comfortable with it. Oh, what? Now you're stuck on the mat? Come on. Look at that. I reballed an SMC, and I didn't throw any equipment through my office. That, for me, is a win. Check out those balls. Don't you just want to reach out and touch them? Ah, he said it. He said it. Here you go. Is it too warped to mount? Let's find out. It's going to be hard to show on camera. I'm just checking it from all sides. It looks to have straightened out reasonably well. It actually straightened back out again. Sam, it would not be one of the weirdest things I've shown off on camera. Uh-huh. All right. Do I have to put this back on the board now? Or can I leave? Can I call it a day? I'll put it back on the board. Clean this mess up a little. All right. So, 4 jigs. $130 later. Turns out, jigs are for losers. Because the real men, the real veterans, the fearless types, they just tape that shit to their desk and get to work. All right. Did I already work this? Of course I didn't. All right, just got to clean this up for a minute. Stand by. Shit. Where are my clippers? Here we go. I have to go and get lunch. I'm going to miss the big reveal. But Bruce, if you don't leave to go get lunch, you're not going to miss the big reveal. It's fairly simple, Bruce. Come on. You just hold off on lunch for another 10 minutes. Problem solved. All right, I'm pretty happy with that Wiccan. Well, Bruce has done this 100 times. He knows what's coming. All right, I know it doesn't make sense to remove the flux just to apply some fresh one, but I just want to get a clean look at all these pads, make sure I didn't mess anything up during the wicking. And that is looking pretty damn sexy, if you ask me. Now, we have here an SMC. I believe pin 1 is over there on that side. Luckily, we have a schematic. I'm pretty sure this is pin 1, but we're going to check the schematic real quick. Would those bumps on the board help it connect mini balls? Oh, no need for me to answer that. Micro already did. And yep, I am correct about pin 1. That one right there. So this is the orientation the chip should go. Now we're going to apply flux like our life depends on it. Not really. We're going to apply a decent amount. Because we can. There we go. And then we're going to line this chip up as best we can. And then we're going to tape it down and hope it works. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Gotta take a little look-see. It's pretty well lined up with the pads. And now we'll just pray that we're close enough aligned so that when that solder starts melting, it'll all flow into place. So here we go. We're going back to the regular scheduled programming of 420 degrees Celsius. And we're going to drop the airflow to 35. Fuck it. Fume extractor on. 20% to tack it down. $20 it is. Let me remove this comment if I can still find it. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Whoa, see, that's not supposed to happen. We just messed up our reball, folks. And then some. I didn't have my tweezers on it. Mistakes were made. Usually, you place the chip where you want it, you hold it down with tweezers, and you start the airflow. Now, when stuff starts sticking a little bit, you remove the tweezers and you let the surface tension suck everything into place, wherever that may be. Didn't work out. I probably used too much flux. And, of course, this solder that I put on here, the chip quick, is vastly different solder, which has a much lower melting point. So, yeah, mistakes were made. Second time will be. I ain't doing this again. Should I do this again? Nope. 2 hour mark. I'm done. Sure. Oh, yeah. Got it for you, Dana. We got round 2. Oh, really? Round 2? It's 30 degrees Celsius in here. Sweating like a beast. Come on. All right. Did I mess anything up here? Let's see what kind of damage I did. See you later, Bruce. Thanks for hanging out. This will be done processing in approximately 36 hours. All right, well, as long as people are here, I might as well. I might as well. Screw it. I need a Bailey's refill, though. Doing a little cleanup. Let's see. That's still in place. 2 there. 3 there. Nothing was there. Was there nothing there? No, there was nothing there. All right. Oh, stupid. I do, of course, fully blame Micromage Repair for this. His presence was just too much pressure for this amateur to handle, and I caved. I'm sorry, it's very unprofessional, but I caved. I will try to do better. Yeah, the rebuild did. And let's be honest, it's midnight. I got nowhere else to be. I'm just gonna try it again. Now you said no flux when tacking it back on. That is a new one for me. I always use flux. Can you explain your reasoning for not using flux when putting this chip back on? No. No. There we go. Come on, say beep. There you go. No flux till it's attacked. It will sail off like it did. So you're blaming me. Okay. All right. See how it is. Just has the balls to show up in my stream and blame me for everything that goes wrong. That's something else. All right. Most of everything that needs to be wicked has been wicked. Clean this up and try it again. This poor chip. Probably doesn't even work. Okay, let's clean the other side real quick. Alright, chip is clean. I was not completely satisfied with how clean the mat was. So let's fix that real quick. So hopefully the tape will stay on longer. All right. Serious question for everybody here. Are we really going to do this again? Majority vote rules. I have just PayPal'd a few people to say no. So do your job. All right, Retro Techie, that was money wasted. I can always count on Dana, though. Come on, Dana. Don't let me down, Dana. Can you make it in 20 minutes? I should be able to do that. Step 1. Tape. It puts the tape on the desk. It puts the chip back on the tape. You get the idea. Why not? Easy for you to say, Patrick. Easy for you to say. I'll admit, I'm having fun. Alright, this should stick better than ever now. Because I just scrubbed the crap out of it. Switch angles? Which angle? You want the desk, the side angle? That's me super chatting. Well, thank you, Dana. I appreciate it. I should probably take a second to clean the stencil, so give me a minute. You know what? I can hang out here forever. Because as long as you have some good techno in the background, you can do anything. Alright, let's clean this stencil up. Imagine if it works. You know what? I'm not a very positive person, but if it works, I'll be very happy. And I'm going to say, see, I told you I could do it. Told you it was a piece of cake. Dry faster. Looks a little grimy in there. This is probably the last reball this chip will ever get because the edges are starting to look a little rough. So, stencil time. There. More tape. Now, if anyone has a feeling of deja vu, you're not wrong. We have been here before, you and I. Not 20 minutes ago. Now, I probably should be doing this with gloves on, because all that greasy crap on the tape is likely not helping the adhesion. But you know what? If this fails again, we'll just do it again tomorrow. Now, in case GT is still here, which I doubt, I am going to apply top and bottom tape as well. Just so he doesn't scream at me. Can't believe I wasted all that cash on jigs. Seriously. Feel like a freaking idiot now. Alright. We rub this into the desk. And then we're gonna make sure this is all nice and stuck. Really? Hair? I don't even have hair. Go away. Oh, you're not gonna. Are you kidding me? Successful reball gets messed up by a hair. Ha! Alright. I think we're in a good place again. Change the title of the video to something less creative but more specific. Removing reballing. I could, but I like being vague. Now, why does it look like the stencil is kind of bulging up a little? It's not. It's all in my mind. Never mind. Another YouTuber I watch does this thing that I now do, where he makes one word in the title big, all capitalized, different color and everything. And everything this dude posts is pure clickbait. It's ridiculous. And I think it's hilarious. So I started doing it too, because I think it's funny. And I applied way too much paste. Alright, so we're doing left to right. Right to left. Like so. Up to down. Down to up. So we've covered everybody's wishes right there. Then we take some paper towel and go like that, and left to right, and I'm pretty happy with that. I should title it balls. My God, the comments I would get. I came here expecting something different. I don't want that. All right. What did I do? I think I did 420 on 20%. Here we go again. right. Gonna give it a second. Then we're gonna flux it, lube the balls. And we're gonna flow it. I think that's looking pretty good. And then we're going to turn this off, so it's going to make some noise. Just removing the tape while the hot air gun cools off. All right, we have here once again a chip merged with stencil. So we're going to put the hot air on 130 I did last time. Sorry, 120. Airflow pretty high. I'm going to go with 70. And instead of tweezers, we were using a knife. See how this goes. Ah, get back here. Dude, stop moving. Stop it. Alright, the mat is a little too clean now. Fuck's sake, come here. I'm gonna have to hold on to it. Alright, I'm gonna have to use the knife again. Nozzle on the stencil and pull up with your tweezers. Alright. From this side, I imagine. Like that. All right, so removing the stencil from the chip obviously requires some more practice. But, dude, thank you for the tip so far. This stream may have had absolutely no value to whoever is watching, but it sure did to me. Come on. After everything it's been through, if this chip still works, I will be amazed. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Now, without wasting any time, why do I still have lint on here? All right. With wasting some time, there we go. We're going to plop this right back on the board and see how we do. I think that's pretty focused. Now, thank you, Micro. Thank you, Budo. You said no flux, so I will not even think about adding flux. No flux. All right, we're going to put this back on 420, low airflow of 20%. We're going to hold it down with the tweezers, but remove the tweezers fairly quickly so that it doesn't smoosh into the board. All right, let's do this. We ready? You ready? If I mess this up again, we're going to be here for another 20 minutes. So cross your fingers, cross your toes, pray to whoever you believe in. Here we go. Ah, fucking hell. I'm not able to hold this on the board. Still. Without flux. Shit. I don't think this is going to happen without flux, Micro. Don't hold it. I'm going to blow it right off the board. What do you mean don't hold it? You mean to say that I'm going to point my hot air gun at it just like this? That's what you're saying. You seem pretty sure of yourself, sir. Here we go. I'll be fucked. Now, I think I should be ready to add some flux now. Would you agree? I haven't seen it shift yet. So either I placed this perfectly or the solder hasn't melted yet. Alright, it is attached. So now, I think he's going to say add flux. But I'm not making any assumptions tonight. Is he going to say it? Is he going to say it? Now flux it and bring the airflow. Alrighty. I'm almost out of flux. No. I think that was the last of my flux. Airflow. Oh, that's temperature. We don't want that. Airflow. Are we happy with 50? I'm pretty happy with 50. Here we go. Yeah, I'll be fixing that capacitor when I'm done. There it goes. It just flowed into place. Come on, you prick. Alright. I'll fix that with the soldering iron. It is now 33 degrees Celsius in here. It's getting a little toasty. All right. I didn't mess it up this time. That I know of. We're not done yet. Anything can happen. I'm going to fix that little capacitor up top. And we're going to give it a minute to cool. And then we're going to jolt this thing with as much voltage as we can cram into it just to make something happen. We don't care what happens as long as something happens. What? Tip is in. What are you complaining about? That's in. That's in. All right. Why is my iron unhappy? Did my tip just die? What the hell is happening here? Please hold. Technical difficulties. Tip is fine. She is in. Okay. All right. That's new. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. Let's put the other tip back in for now. And I might have to do the unthinkable now. Because the tip I usually use is a knife tip, which is huge. I might actually have to reach for a conical now. Which, as everybody knows, is not something Jay is fond of. All right, let's see if it's happy now. Yep, it's happy now. Maybe my micro pencil is dead, dying, unhappy in one way or another. Let's see if this tip heats up enough to get this job done. Well, you know what? It's not bridging. I'm going to have to hot air this later. It is touching the pad, and it's not touching the resistor next to it. So you know what? We are going to test it just like this. We are living on the edge. We do not care about proper procedure. We're just going to do it. Because I'm pretty sure we all just want to get out of here. And watch Dana start a live stream to do some stuff. Usually this other side of the board gets pretty messy. Right now it's not too bad. All right. I say we test this. What say he? How does this work again? Switch the camera to that one. And then switch this to that view. Aha! All right. Sorry. Moving all this stuff out of the way. Well, that was an undertaking. Once again, Micro, much appreciated feedback, tips, and help, and making me look all professional and stuff. We insert the chipmunk. Now, remember, we are pretty confident this SMC is dead. But you never know. Bring this a little closer. You never know. We might get that blinky light up there. Are we ready? Are we ready? I'm not. Are you? Let's do it. Clear. I'll be fucked. Look at that. All right, fan is spinning. You got power 5 volt. No brain as of yet. Let's give it a second, see what happens. Fan is ramping up. Still no brain. I think we are back to where we started this afternoon. I'm going to confirm this with the thermal camera, because I think the PCH right now is going to be about 60 degrees Celsius. Yeah. So, let's put this under there for a second. Yep. Right now, the only thing getting boiling hot is this right here. So either I think we spotted a little bit of corrosion on the side of that chip, so I might have to try and reflow this, or something else might be going on. But let's at least see if what was it, U7200 is now doing its job, which I think it is because the fan is spinning. But you know, we want to come full circle and all that stuff. Where was it? This side of the board? No. This side of the board. And we wanted to go there. Shut up. And we want to see. Whew, 5 volts. So at least the rail that we previously didn't have has been returned. We kind of figured that judging from the fan spinning. But now we can build on that. I apologize that we wasted 2 hours screwing around with the SMC, but it had to be done. It obviously wasn't attached properly. Now this SMC may still be dead. I don't know if I'm going to try another one. I'll keep working with what I have first. Keep measuring the rails. Keep seeing if anything is shorted. And who knows, if we don't have anything to do tomorrow, my paper towels. We might do a part 3 where we just keep this party going. What do you say? Shit. I just broke my plunger. That's not good. I just broke my plunger for the chip quick. Now I can't pull it back. So now this stuff is just going to keep pouring out. Anyway, that's not your problem. That's my problem. And I'll deal with that once the cameras are off. Let me switch this over. Good night, Thomas. Turn this off so you can actually see some. All right. What killed the board? Liquid damage, originally. Go back to the stream I did this afternoon if you want all the details, but there were little spots of corrosion all over the board. I ultrasonicked it. and then it started acting really weird, heating up the same chip you just saw heated up. And then I reflowed the SMC, and it died completely. And that's how we got stuck in the rabbit hole we just spent the last 2 hours, 3 hours in. So, Sam, good night. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I had fun and I learned some stuff. So, Micromage, thank you so much once again for all the tips. Um, Beer on me next time you're in town. So, everybody have a good night. I am going to clean this board up a little, maybe ultrasonic it again, and go to sleep. So, see you all later. Have a good night and be well.